my company has 20 plus. I don't even remember how many loaders that we have, but we've been using them for several years now, and we just love them. We are always having questions from users asking about new loaders, trying to do things, and you know, there's such a time savings over having to sit there and manually enter when you have thousands and thousands of entries to do. And so, yeah, our users can't live without them. So I noticed in the meeting the other day, you said something about PCO, PCR loaders, and we have one site that is starting to do that. And being as I know nothing about that process, I was interested to hear that you guys had loaders for that.
Yeah. Alena, want to give some comments about it?
Yeah, I can even quickly show it if you want. Just need a couple of minutes to bring the server up just to give you an idea how it looks like.
Yeah, and while you're getting that ready, I will say that I've already had comments from a site from your BOM presentation the other day asking about it. So my users are watching.
Excellent.
So they hear what you say, and they're right there asking about it. So yeah, 32 soft kind of is my life right now.
Thank you very much. The whole process was designed around like PCC or PCO to be able to facilitate the whole process, right? So that's we understand, like talking with people, with end users, we understand that primarily engineering department is the user. So they will drive this product changes and orders and requests, etc. And they're not big fans of QID system. And to simplify their work, that's kind of we took into account this requirement. So they are not like frequent QID users. They don't go there often, or if ever, they would prefer not to go. But just to manage their stuff, this is what they need, because it's a centralized database, and then all needs to be in sync as far as up-to-date builds of materials and routings, etc., etc. So in order to plan, the other departments to be able to successfully plan and execute the production, right? So
see my screen now. It will be very informal. I'll just show you the whole idea about the loader. So originally we started with just PCO for BOM, and then as we worked more with it, we added 3 options. If you work with PCO in QED, you know that when you create a PCO order, then after the header, you define what kind of section or what kind of data you want to maintain in the order. So similar here, you have right now 3 different tabs for BOM PCO, routing, and item. They're different because there is a different set of data you need to maintain, and it would be very cumbersome to have them all in one tab. So you can work independently with each of the tabs. So BOM PCO, you can, let me look up one of the orders. On the dashboard, I can see all the orders. I will leave selection criteria blank, but so I will see all the orders I have in display database. And for each order here, I can see order information, including the approval details, whether they have been approved or not, and whether they have been implemented. If you work with PCO in QED, you know that the order does not have effect into QED data until it's been implemented. So, for example, if it's PCO BOM, it can go through all the approval processes, gets approved, and then when time comes, it can be implemented, and this will update BOM records in Bill of Materials master. So this is when it actually comes into effect. From this dashboard, we found it would be very useful to be able to look into details or edit the existing PCOs. I want to find something that have multiple types of data. So PCO for BOM, routing, and item. I can pick this one. I can either click on View PCO, and then this will give me its standard PCR PCO detail inquiry, and it brings into Excel standard QED output for that report, that inquiry. I can print it out if necessary from here. It could be some other, if you have customized output for the PCO, we can link it here. And if I want to view the details or edit, I click on Edit PCO, and the tool will pull all the PCO data into Excel template and will sort them out. So if it has BOM, routing, and item components, they will be put accordingly into different tabs. This one wasn't a good example, but we can create another one based on this existing PCO. So I can look at the details. I see that this has been routed for approval. If I want to create new PCO, I can start from scratch, or I can use existing PCO as a template. So I will do this PCO, just change the ID and put type.
Just for the sake of time, you don't need to like show like all of it. Yeah, I would rather ask our audience for curious.
The idea, what we learned is we've been asked a question, and we know that in a lot of companies, this information engineering keeps in third-party systems, not in QED. So it's possible to add here, if you need to bring data into QED, we can add import data option. So you can import data from the third-party application and upload it into PCO in QED. If you want to if you don't want like to do double maintenance, because it will be really quick. You don't need to re-enter anything. We can work with input file format and recreate them. Also, this I think Paul asked it yesterday. This tool works currently with PCO, not PCR, with orders, not requisitions, but it can be adapted to work with requisitions as well. It will require some customizations, but it's doable. Just no one requested to have requisition. Mostly people were interested in orders. And this one is really quick and simple way, because doing it through QED sometimes scares engineering because it's a lot of typing and visibility is not the best. And this, I think personally, this dashboard helps a lot because it shows me what's here, what approved, and if you maintain PCO by user code, right? You can download PCOs. If I'm an engineer, I can download orders by my user code, or if it's certain type, like BOM adjustments or new product, I can see immediately what kind of orders are sitting there, either waiting for approval or have been approved and require implementation.
Awesome.
I guess after listening to you this afternoon and what I asked about yesterday, I guess I'll clarify that we used the PCR for the initial generation, that we got something in our system to work on. When that PCR is approved, then it's converted to a PCO. So you guys being the experts, I'll let you tell me if I'm thinking about this correctly. Once we convert it to a PCO, then what Alana just showed, we could look up and upload that PCO into the data loader, the Excel spreadsheet here, and then work on it in that fashion, and then load that back into the PCO screens in QAD, if I'm following what I believe I'm watching.
Yes, Once you convert PCR into PCO, it will be all here accessible through this loader. Again, if you need to add PCR maintenance functionality here, it can be done. It's not there right now. But once it becomes PCO, you will see them all on the dashboard. You will see if they will require approval. Again, I'm not sure what's your approval process. If you have a separate approval process for PCO, or once it's been approved for PCR, PCO gets automatically approved.
No, they're separate.
Yeah.
On our PCRs, we have more the operations, senior staff, you know, product management approving that, you know, we're going to create a new item, new part, new sellable item. Then when that's approved, then, you know, like I said, we go to the PCR and do the nuts and bolts work there in the PCO. Excuse me, go to the PCO and do the nuts and bolts work in the PCO.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in this. I know Dave would have been last July too.
Yeah, I think this tool will be really helpful for you. It will be more helpful for that site that uses PCR if they could also create PCRs through here, because it would be very quick with the functionality available here. But again, this is the generic version. It's very easy to use. It works, doesn't require any specific configuration, just needs to be installed and tried. No strings attached. And if you want, we can show it, like we can help you with installation. We can send you a package and you can play with it. Maybe you can suggest us some useful tips on how to improve it.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I was, in fact, prior to this call here today, I was just talking to one of our other team members, another senior designer on our team, and I mentioned where it was mentioned yesterday that with the data loaders, all the records associated in that data loader, all those records get locked. And I'm guessing that's true here with the PCO. If there's another PCO that's open that would have the same component in it?
No, that shouldn't be the case. The only sensitive part here, it's not the same as with bombs. It's pretty isolated. The only sensitive part is when you maintain items through this loader. Well, again, we still try, this is where the lock of main QED data happens if you decide to create, to do the direct update. Because in when you create...
Let me clarify that so it wouldn't be confused. So we lock, like this is the batch process, first of all, right? So this is, and the batch process means it runs like within seconds, right? So, and then the lock is going on like with the seconds time frame, right? So, and then prior to lock, we actually check to see if those records are locked already by somebody else, right? So, in other words, if the size of your batch of your records on the spreadsheet is not as huge, right? So like not like thousands upon thousands, and it's like really quick. It's just, you know, a couple of seconds, depending on the connectivity between the PC and the QED database, right? So like where, like, but it's as you know. So that's, you know, that may clarify. So there's no, like, not really concerns about, like, you know, locking or deadlock, and we, you know, we aware about those issues. Please go ahead.
It also depends on QED functionality, because, for example, PCO, when PCO gets created, QED does not need to lock either part number record or bomb record, because it's not going to update them. So no locks happening here. Lock could be if someone else will go into QED and will try to edit the same exact order and the one that will try to upload, and then we'll notify that this order is locked. But in this case, locks are minimal. There are some QED functions that when you enter them, they kind of reserve their logs. And it's not the logs we create. We do not log anything extra that QED requires. And if even when we do that, as Alex mentioned, the period is very, very short. It's even shorter than if you would update it manually through QED. So here it's not, there are a couple of very sensitive functions in QED that involve logs through multiple tables, but this is not the case. So it's we never had any log issues in this loader with PCO, even through QED.
Okay. Yeah, because that is a concern based on our product. We could have a component that's used in several different assemblies simultaneously, and maybe 2 or 3 of them are have PCOs out on them, and I think that's what was driving our thought and our question.
It's on our website. Like if you visit our website, there's a data loaders, and then there's a data loaders for SE or for EE, and this is the list I'm actually showing here. It's not like 100% complete list. We have some other things which are either very specific to customers, or we think it's not worthwhile to talk about at this point. So in other words, if you don't see something listed here on the website, just let us know, ask us a question like, where's the challenge? Like, we'll tell you whether we have a solution for it. Chances are that we may have already something done for somebody else and it's available. Yeah, we can set you up with the free trial.
And we have the PCO version for EE.
Mm-hmm.
We have customers who were using it on SE, and then they migrated into EE, and PCO loader has been migrated to EE as well. I think it's 2000. Those that we have, they are on 2016 and 17 versions, but I don't think in 2020 it's much different.